Okay, now that's a change up I was not expecting. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in this video I'm going to be listening to the album Lonely People with Power by Deafheaven. Now, Deafheaven is a fantastic band. I've heard their entire discography so far here on my channel. I've done reactions for all of them. They always do such a great job on their records of fusing so many different styles, those heavy moments blended with some really soft, touching, and melodic parts as well. Their most recent album, Lonely People with Power, they just released a few days ago as of filming this video, and I'm really excited to hear it. I haven't heard any of the singles from this thing. I don't know if it was well received by critics or by listeners. I'm going into this thing blind. I know nothing about this record, and yeah, I'm just really excited to check it out and see what I'm going to think of it. All right, starting Lonely People with Power off is track 1 called Incidental I. A lot of distortion. It's kind of got this ripply, really watery sound to it. All right, I'm going to pause it real fast. That was such a fantastic transition into the second song. But that was track 1, Incidental I, kind of just a little opening track to this album, less than a minute long, very atmospheric, very floaty and kind of untethered almost in a way with its sound. But I'm very excited to continue on with this next song. So up next is track 2 called Doberman. Those vocals are so telltale Deafheaven to me. His voice has this really characteristic, deep, kind of growly quality to it that I love. I just feel like this song is picking up momentum. It's bringing so much speed. It's almost creating this feeling of urgency. I love that little effect they did with the echoey vocals when it got quiet for a second there. Yeah, the balance that this band always manages to strike between the delicate and the heavy is perfectly done, because now we have this softer part to the song going on, and I'm loving how gentle the drums are now. Well, that was track 2, Doberman. What an absolutely fantastic start to this album. For me, track 1 and 2 kind of were one song almost, just with that seamless transition between the two. So much power with that one. His vocal delivery was phenomenal, and yet Deafheaven always has this ability to kind of keep this softness to their music as well. And the drums across that entire track 2 were absolutely fantastic. Such a standout. I love the speed that they were bringing to that track. Like I said, it was almost like this momentum was just building up. Up next is track 3, which is called Magnolia. This guitar has such an interesting tone to it, kind of a distorted quality. His vocals paired with these drums is just bringing so much intensity. It's like this wall of sound. It kind of just completely submerges you with this heaviness. love these guitars coming in right here. The vocals and the drums kind of have this deeper intensity, and then those guitars kind of cut through that a little bit. It's a great contrast. Well, that was track 3, Magnolia. Such a heavy song. There was a lot of intensity with that one. It still had sort of that lightness to its tone that Deafheaven kind of has as like their telltale sound, almost this smoothness in a way, but yet there was so much intensity too. And I know their previous album, their 5th record, Infinite Granite, went a little bit more in the atmospheric, kind of slowed down melodic direction, which I personally really did enjoy, but I know some people wanted more of that punchiness from their sound, and it seems like, at least so far on this album, they're kind of re-embracing that. They're kind of taking this one in a little bit of a heavier direction. But I'm going to continue on with track 4, which is called The Garden Route. I was just gonna say, for some reason before the vocals came in, that beginning part reminded me a tiny bit of Radiohead. Okay, here comes the intensity. It just kind of came rushing in all of a sudden and flooded over this track. I just love the delicateness of this song. Man, there's something so light about its tone. It's almost like the sun shining. It's absolutely beautiful. Percussion, oh, it was like all of these little pops going off. That was so cool. That was track 4, The Garden Route. I think that might be my favorite song on this album so far. Just the blend of every element was so intricately woven together. It just worked beautifully as this cohesive track, even though there were all these change-ups they kept doing. And just a gorgeous atmosphere to that song. It was almost like I was walking through a forest or something right after a rain shower, and there's all of this water on the leaves and the sun is just making them sparkle. Just an absolutely fantastic track. All right, I'm going to move on to track 5, which is called Heathen. All right, noticeably different vocal style on this one, so much lighter. I wonder if this is a different singer? I'm not sure. That was cool. I loved that part where they kind of unexpectedly stopped the song. I was expecting it to keep building up that intensity, and it did the opposite. Yeah, again, it's like a release, a tidal wave of energy coming at you with these harsher vocals. I love the distortion on the guitar there. That was really coming through at the very end, sort of this fuzziness. But that was track 5, Heathen. All the change-ups with the vocals they were doing on that one were so fascinating. It started off with a completely different vocal style. It almost sounded like a different singer entirely, just very soft and melodic. And then you had that middle part too that almost sounded like a movie excerpt or something, like someone talking that they had kind of distorted a bit. Just a ton of variety across that track, and they really did unleash so much intensity at times. All right, up next is track 6, which is called Amethyst. Really beautiful acoustic guitar at the beginning there. Just such a gentleness to its tone. That guitar has such a wonderful, kind of watery, ripply quality to it. Almost like you're floating along. It's just very ethereal, kind of dreamy. And then just like that, they strip all that intensity back and it goes right into this really relaxing part again. Deafheaven is so good at doing that. Their transitions are seamless. That little echoiness there with the vocals. I love those touches they're adding. It's just really creating this amazing atmosphere on this album. Their drummer is an absolute beast. Man, so much intensity and so much speed. That was track 6, Amethyst. That song took me to so many different places sonically. The beginning was really gorgeous with the use of that acoustic guitar and those slower talking vocals. I loved that really warm, kind of ripply tone to the guitar as well. Just absolutely gorgeous. And that entire track just built up so incredibly well. Those drums were yet again shining so much on that song, just bringing so much speed and intensity to their playing style. All right, I'm going to move on to track 7, which is called Incidental II featuring Jae Matthews. Something kind of ominous about the tone of the beginning of this one. Very dark. I love that steady percussive element in the background. It kind of sounds almost bouncy with its tone. Something very elasticy about it. Okay, now that's a change up I was not expecting. Desperate to be alone. Well, that was track 7, Incidental II featuring Jae Matthews, who I assume is the female vocalist. That song was so incredibly unexpected. I don't even know what to think about that one. I've never heard that style of music from Deafheaven before. The majority of that track was pretty gentle. It kind of had this oddly dark atmosphere, but yet there was something kind of relaxing about it as well. And then when they introduced all of that intensity, all of a sudden, I was absolutely not expecting that. Just so crazy. It almost makes me want to get like an industrial album from Deafheaven because I really enjoyed that sound from them, just a crushing heaviness. But I'm going to continue on with track 8, which is called Revelator. There's something so speedy about this one. It just has this fantastic momentum to it. I love those parts where they kind of stop it and you just have those drums really shining through. It's like all of a sudden this song burst open and now it's almost like the sun shining through or something. A bit of a tone change. I love it. Something so bright about it. I love how that vocal delivery just there, it was almost like him falling. His voice had this descending quality to it. Well, that was track 8, Revelator. A very wild song, so much intensity coming at you, and yet it still had this amazing kind of loose relaxedness to it as well. Almost this elasticity to the instrumentals that I'm really loving across this album. And then how that track just stopped and it went into that acoustic portion, just very slowed down and relaxing, and then they brought that intensity right back. Those transitions I just thought were so much fun, just a really entertaining track. But I'm going to continue on with track 9 called Body Behavior. The echoiness, I love it. Again, I'm loving the intensity of the vocals and the drums. They're kind of this wall of sound, but then the guitar is adding so much melodicness. I love that fusion. This part right here, that guitar just really stands out because of how different its tone is compared to the rest of the instrumentals going on. This part is so delicate. It kind of has this crystalline quality to its tone. I love that little bit of distortion on the guitar there at the end, but that was track 9, Body Behavior. I loved the intensity of that track. They kept it so loose and relaxed, but at the same time, just so much energy pouring out at you. And I think my favorite part of that track was probably that guitar tone. At times it would just have this really melodic quality to it that was just such a striking difference from the rest of the song. But up next is track 10, which is called Incidental III, and this one is featuring Paul Banks.
We looked toward the woman, and my face burned red, blushing.
It almost sounds like church bells that have been really distorted.
It was the way that she touched me, her arm on the window.
Alright, I'm going to pause it really quick. That one flowed right into the next song, but that was track 10, Incidental III featuring Paul Banks. Just something very cinematic about that one with the vocal delivery and everything. A lot of interesting sounds going on too. It was pretty stripped back and more of an interlude style, but there were kind of these almost borderline electronic sounding elements to it. Like I mentioned, it almost sounded like church bells or something that were really distorted. But I'm going to continue on with track 11, which is called Winona. You can sense it building up, all of this energy. These drums, I can't get over the drums on this album. They're absolutely fantastic. Ooh, I love this tone change here. There was a bit of fuzziness, and now it's like you're kind of being cocooned in this really warm sound. There's something very comforting about the tone of it. This bass is really shining through beautifully too. All right, another transition from that one into the next song, but that was track 11, Winona. The ending there was really interesting. It sounded like a river, just water trickling by. I loved that portion too, where it slowed way down and it kind of took on that really warm, like I mentioned, cocoon-like sound. I thought that was beautifully done. Just so much variety with its sound, and it really transported me to a place listening to it. Just such an amazing lushness to its tone. But moving on to the last song on Lonely People with Power is track 12 called The Marvelous Orange Tree. There's such a floaty, lightweight quality to these vocals. Very dreamlike. I love the bass, I think it is, that I'm hearing. It's got a really nice, sort of muffled softness to it. It kind of feels like you're ascending. It's amazing. It's like this song is just lifting you up into heaven. It's just the quality that it has. That was track 12, The Marvelous Orange Tree. I was getting goosebumps there toward the end. Just an absolutely magnificent way to close this album. So much energy on that thing. That track was a little bit more slowed down than some of the other ones on this album, and I absolutely loved the contrast of the two vocals. You had the really intense ones bringing more heaviness, and then you had the lighter, very angelic, melodic ones, but just a fantastic contrast, and yet again they struck such a beautiful balance between the different aspects to their sound on that one. Well, that concludes my reaction to Lonely People with Power, the 6th studio album from Deafheaven. I personally thought this record was absolutely fantastic, a wonderful addition to Deafheaven's discography. This album has only been out for a few days now, so I don't know what the critical consensus is on it yet, but I think it is absolutely one of their best records. I loved track 2, Doberman. That was definitely one of my favorites, just so much intensity right off the bat. And the drums on that one really stood out to me too, just being played with so much power. I also really enjoyed track 4, The Garden Route. Such a beautiful tone to that one. It had this amazing light kind of sunny quality to it, just such a lush track. And then track 7, Incidental II, was actually a standout for me as well. Such a different style for Deafheaven. But yeah, an amazing record from beginning to end. I was expecting this album to be good, but I actually enjoyed it even more than I thought I would. Be sure to let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Lonely People with Power. I would love to check those out. And yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.